Hey everybody, JCB here at the Awesomeness, and you're watching the Awesomeness YouTube channel. We are at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It is February 2nd. We're here to answer the question, is Six Flags Magic Mountain busy on Super Bowl Sunday / Groundhog Day? Every time we go, we try to use more of our Diamond Elite Season Pass benefits. So this time we're actually able to reserve ourselves a spot in the preferred parking lot, which every other time we've tried to do has been full. And so this is the first time we actually got to use it. Apparently, you can book it for pretty much as far out in advance as you want, but you can only have one reservation at a time. And if you don't come and you don't use it, and you don't cancel before 9 a.m. the day of, they actually penalize you. And it says that like they'll limit your ability to book future reservations. So that's an interesting way of keeping from abusing it. The opening gate doesn't seem too busy.
I think you might be done.
Hope so. Here's the state of the store. Pretty empty. We haven't gotten into the park proper yet though, so we'll see how it is when we get further in. The helpful Honda Express has been closed the last few times we've come, which is ironic. It's not very helpful. We're on our way up the hill to go on West Coast Racers with our friends Kelsey and Andrew. And so far the park doesn't appear to be very busy. Super Bowl Sunday isn't technically a holiday. The United States is kind of treated like one. Groundhog's Day isn't a major holiday. It's basically a little rodent comes out of the ground, and if it sees its shadow and gets scared and goes back into its hole, then there's 6 more weeks of winter. But spoiler alert, there's 6 more weeks of winter anyway. So it's kind of a silly tradition. Nobody typically gets a day off for Groundhog Day. And only people who already have Sunday off anyway get the Super Bowl off. But because it is a day of note, we decided to give it a try. Also, we don't watch sports ball, so we decided to go to Magic Mountain anyway. I'm interested to see how long the line is at West Coast Racers today, because when I came on New Year's Day, it was busier than this, but it was still pretty slow. And it was about an hour wait. And when we came on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, again it was busier than this, but it's still pretty slow. So that line was also looked about the same. Basically, if you're in the shade structure outside the ride building, it's about an hour wait. If you're inside the building, it's like a half-hour wait. And that's a rough estimate. The ride could always break down, take longer, etc. So I'm interested to see today, with it being as slow as it is, with everybody watching a big game, how busy the line's gonna be. We'll know in a few minutes. Coming down the backside of the mountain, still pretty dead. Not too many people in the general area. Jetstream's still closed down for maintenance. When we first realized that this Sunday was Super Bowl Sunday, and technically a holiday, we decided pretty quickly to go. Like, we just yeeted out of there as fast as our feet could yeet. Looks like it might be pretty close to a walk-on, at least walk into the building. Quite a bit of a difference from when they did the preview, and the line was way back here. That's encouraging. We'll see how busy it gets this summer when the park is in full swing for the season. It is 12:16, and the line is, well, let me show you. The line is not under the shade structure, but it's not quite in the building. So I'm thinking half hour, we'll see. Like it says, 12:16, we're getting in line. We'll see how long this takes. So the buckets are gone, but now there's boxes. While my wife and friends are getting tacos at the taco place, I'm gonna try out the brand new chicken coop restaurant that is open. The food is typically best right after it just barely opens. So we'll see what they got and what sounds good and how it actually tastes. The chicken coop. Looks like it's mostly sandwiches and 2-piece platters, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Here's what it looks like upon delivery. Fried job is a little questionable. We'll see how it tastes. So the chicken coop, it was okay. It wasn't great. The good things about it is it's clearly made right here at the park. It's not like frozen and then like reheated. They clearly deep fry it right here. That's pretty obvious. The other good thing is the skin's really crispy, so that was really nice. The only really bad thing is it doesn't seem to have any kind of seasoning at all, so it's a little bland. And I feel like that could be fixed if they offered any kind of dipping sauces, like barbecue or ranch or anything really. But they don't seem to offer any of that stuff, at least not yet. So, yeah. The fries are also really, really good, as was the little biscuit that came with it. So overall, I'm not like super disappointed. I was expecting to be a little bit better. It just really needs some salt or pepper or some kind of seasoning of some sort. But, you know, it's not bad. So, in the comments on my last video, some people were saying and claiming that Martin Luther King Day was crazy busy. And I feel like my video speaks for itself. Like, you can see how dead it was. But I figured now would be a good time to talk about, like, what my criteria is for, like, whether or not I think the park is busy. One of the main barometers for how busy the park is definitely the parking lot. If the parking lot's crazy busy, you have to park super far away, then the park is going to be busy. Like, there's been times where we parked in the dirt lot. There's been times where we had to park across the street from the dirt lot. Those are busy nights. Nights like Fright Fest. The last week of the year is usually pretty crazy busy. Lines are not usually a good indicator though, because sometimes rides break down. Sometimes when it's slow, they only run one train at a time. And that'll cause even a slow day to seem busy. So like, I just waited 15-20 minutes for Apocalypse for fairly no reason. So you can't really judge the busyness on lines only, because also crowds move through the park in kind of a weird way, like as big groups. A lot of times once the park opens, like everybody goes to the rides closest to the opening of the park, like closest to the entrance, and then they move either clockwise or counterclockwise from there. And so you'll have the same groups of people moving like a herd through the park as groups of people. And so if you're in that group of people and it's a long wait for full throttle, and then you happen to be with that same group of people at Goliath, it's also going to be probably that same wait. Whereas if you quickly go to like the back of the park at the start of the day, or up to like X2, you might not have that same issue. You'll end up with a different group of people while that other group is working its way through the park. So line wait times is kind of a weird thing. And this is the most crowded it's been all day. And I can still freely walk. I can swing my arm around and not hit people. I feel like if I'm not dodging strollers and worming my way through the crowd, it's not busy. Now that said, there's a difference between it being not busy and it being dead. Like sometimes the park is dead and there's like literally no one around you. But that's pretty rare. Usually you gotta come like on a Tuesday in the middle of February to really get that. But this is not busy, and that's what the show's called. Is it busy, right? Not, is it dead? Twisted Colossus. The line's not even out under the sign. So, even if you are judging by lines, it's pretty slow today. If this is your first episode of Is It Busy, there is an entire playlist of these episodes. So far, this is only the third, but it's gonna fill up because the plan is to go to Six Flags Magic Mountain, or, well, in July, we might be out of state, but go to Six Flags Magic Mountain every major holiday this year to see if it's busy on specific holidays, as that is one of the major questions I get asked a lot is it busy on this day? Is it busy on that day? So, as the year goes on, this playlist will get full of more and more videos, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, so you can be alerted every time I post a new one. Well, we have to be at work tomorrow morning, so that's it for today at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It is just a little bit after 3 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and start our long drive home so we can have somewhat of a normal evening before we have to get up tomorrow morning for work. But let's take one last look around. It's still pretty much a slow, not very busy day. So what's the final verdict for today? Is it busy on Groundhog Day / Super Bowl Sunday?
No.
No. I would say no. I would say no.
Say it's a perfect day to go.
It is a perfect day to go, yeah. Super Bowl Sunday is a great day to go. Most people are too busy watching the big game to come all the way out to Six Flags Magic Mountain. And as far as Groundhog Day goes, unless it's a weekend, nobody has that day off. So also probably always going to be a good day to go. It was just kind of a weird coincidence that it was Groundhog Day today as well. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as I release new videos all the time and planning to do even more Magic Mountain videos this year. So until next time, keep being awesome. Was the extra large too big? Park is in full swing. I'd say it's not very busy on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Are you working?